Welcome back. Let's continue where we stopped last time. Last time we got the translation of that Italian letter telling us that there was a hidden panel in the maid's room below the side desk, and we're going to see what's inside. It's a photograph. There is an open window, and this seems to be someplace in the garden. You can see the shadow of the tower of the house, and this appears to be, assuming everything we've heard so far is correct, the figure of James Blackwood burying his wife. Well, let's keep that in mind for now. Next thing to do is finally go back to the greenhouse and have a closer look inside. Okay, the first thing that you can see is this shiny object beneath the grating, but it seems we cannot get it like this, so let's have a closer look around. What is that? A huge pot containing a bush had fallen on the drain. The upper walkway was livelier than below due to several plants that had somehow managed to subsist on it. There was a shovel in the planter, but it was stuck in the soil. A large hose was lying on the walkway. So now, I don't know if that was very clear, but by clicking one end of the hose, he put it over the railing, so it's hanging down. And now he put the other end into the soil. The idea here is, what you have to realize is that you can connect it down there to a water faucet and then let the water run up here and make the soil wet, so you can grab the shovel, which currently is stuck in the soil. Let's see if there's anything else here. Don't want to miss anything. Several pots were scattered here and there. A few had pathetic plants in them. That looks interesting. The plant on top of the table was strangely attractive. That's a weird way of saying that, but okay. An open bag of fertilizer was lying on the table. One bag had ripped, spreading dirt all over the table. The watering can was of no use to me as I had no plans to try reviving any of those plants. It was just an old fumigator. Oh, no, I think there was something in there. Oh. February 7th. As much as I regret it, I've decided to stop caring for the greenhouse. All my efforts to save the plants have been in vain. I just can't seem to figure out what is wrong with them. It has been a few weeks since they began falling apart to pieces, dying without any apparent cause. Some of them would just crumble at the slightest touch. This is not only frustrating but very unsettling. Every time I enter the place, I can feel a sense of dread and decay. What I most regret is the condition of that rare plant I bore out from South Africa. It's now all sad looking and almost dried up. I will take it upstairs and look after it, hoping it will get more sunlight, assuming that everything that has been happening here has a natural explanation. Death is surrounding this place, and I can't seem to do anything about it, in spite of my concerns. I can't help thinking that all of this began when I brought that... I wonder. No, I have to put those thoughts aside. I should stop reading all those sinister books. They're getting under my skin. I assume that was another part of James Blackwood's diary. The branches of the huge tree made walking in the upper walkway very difficult. Okay. Now, since we already did the hose thing, it's time to go down. And let's see. Where is it? There it is. Apparently the water wasn't running, of course. So now we need to find a way to make the water run. Maybe you remember and already know what to do, but if you don't, basically, when we went to the basement for the first time, there was a pipe and a valve, and that's what we need to use to get the water running again. So we need to go back to the basement, yay! Ready? It's quiet. No. Okay, that was already enough. I retrieved the crowbar as it could be needed elsewhere. Okay. Let's see. And it's working. Perfect. How could we get this? I wonder. Maybe if we remove the hose and just let the water run, it should flush away the shiny object. No, it's still there. Maybe I probably have to keep it running. Still. Oh. Now it has been washed outside. I think you can do this in order to check if it has been washed here, but it hasn't, and as you can see, yeah. The reason for that is, as you can see, it goes left and right here, so you might go over there and check if it has ended up there, but it hasn't. But it's also not here. What we actually have to do is find a different place. Which is not completely easy to find, but as you can see, there's another way here. That's where the manor is, that's where the greenhouse is, and here is a big tree. The tree had a little hole in its base, which allowed some water to pass through. And there it is. The shiny object was, of course, another key. I had been through a lot to get that small key. Yep. And I think this is the key for the drawer in the study. So let's give it a try. And let's see what's in there. It's been a while that we examined this. March 21st, 1963. Dear Catherine, first of all, I beg you to take the utmost care in order to keep this letter away from James. So somebody's writing a letter to James Blackwood's wife. I don't like to think of the mental breakdown he would suffer if he reads this. You know James much better than I do, so you must share my conviction that he'd never harm anything. But even so, I'd ask you to be careful whenever he's around, at least until we sort out this situation. He has been especially unstable lately, speaking about his determination to suppress this so-called curse. I truly fear for him, and for his sanity. I still wouldn't say he qualifies as dangerous, but just in case, be cautious. I've been playing the role of an ally who believes in James, and so far I think I've done a good job in convincing him, but I'm afraid it won't last for too much longer. I can't do all the things he's now asking me to do. He has been delving into some very obscure arts, and what began as a hobby has now become a dangerous obsession. He wants me to perform an African ritual on that awful mask he brought. He's convinced he has released an ancient spirit which will harm everything he loves and cares for. It's all so utterly insane that I'm ashamed to translate this into words. My biggest fear is that I will end up losing my own mind along with his. I have to put an end to all of this. And about that other issue, you should know I've gotten over it. Catherine, what we all did 2 years ago, the decision we made and knew would affect the course of our lives, has been haunting my sleep ever since then. I know you must be the one more affected by this, but you wouldn't understand all that has been going through my head. The confusion, the contradiction. Now more than ever, I'm not sure whether it was the right decision or not, but there's no turning back and we must face the consequences. All I wanted to say about this is that I'm deeply sorry if I behaved erratically these past days and unnerved you. You have my word that I won't ever reveal anything. Whatever you do with this letter, make sure that James doesn't suspect anything. I'd rather have you destroy this, though. Extreme situations require extreme measures. Christopher. I think that was the doctor. Huh. Now this is another great point to get stuck. You need 5 numbers, and the solution to that is actually the name of the child that died. If you remember, maybe you noticed that in the child's room there were these blocks on the ground. They had letters and numbers on them. Oh, wait, where am I going? And basically, you need to figure out the name and translate the name into numbers using these blocks. Which means we have to go upstairs again and use the window once more and the rope to descend into the nursery. So, we know the first letter is an R, and basically this already gives the rest away. It's Robin. So the R is 5. 5. This must be a 9 because we already have a 6 here. It's a nice, nice hint. 5, 9, 0, 9, 7. 59097. I hope that's right. This was kind of weird. Ah, okay. Yeah, it was a mechanism to reveal a secret second space inside the box. And then we have a key. A key with what looks like a Christian cross, so guess what place that is for. It's for a place we haven't visited yet. For a little church. And this time we go this way. The massive double doors loading to the interior of the chapel were locked. The lock produced a loud noise. It echoed in the quietness of the area. It made me wonder about the secrets that had been kept safe and undisturbed in here for years. Not even inside the chapel did I perceive a peaceful environment. The deadly stillness was deeply unnerving. It was some kind of small metal ring. What is that, a cartramans inside the chapel, though mostly golden and shiny, looked sad and fragile. The chalice was lavish and pleasing to the eye, but was sadly of no use to me. Okay. The cabinet on this small loft contained items that seemed to have belonged to a priest. The Bible. Huh. There's a big nail hidden inside it. Oh. So we used the crowbar to reveal that the whole floor could be lifted. The statue had a noticeable orifice in the bottom, which is missing a nail. Okay. Something was curiously different about the Inri sign now. Yeah, it wasn't tilted like that before. Can we use something to... what's down there? I guess we'll find out next time.